Hello, hello. The mic is on. Amazing. All right, cool. Have you ever asked yourself, why do some employees sell like naturals while others struggle, even when they know the product inside out? It's not just about the skill that they have, it's about alignment. When you understand how people are wired, their personality type, their values, the way they take in information, you can predict pretty much who will thrive in sales and who will do better in systems or support and who should be leading or mentoring. That's where the format system comes in NLP. It's a way to communicate and to think. That answers every question people unconsciously ask. Why, what, how, and what if? And when you combine the format system with tools like Briggs and value levels, you see exactly what performance varies and how to put the right people pretty much in the right place, right? So let's break it down, you and I. Briggs, she shows you how people naturally process information and pretty much make decisions. Extroverts may thrive in sales or team roles, while introverts might excel in strategy, analysis, or creative problem solving behind the scenes, that is. Value levels, on the other hand, show what motivates someone. It's not about, it doesn't have good or bad, but like every trait, every temperament, they have positives and negatives, right? So every level has its own inner strength. Some people shift value levels as they grow and mature in life, while others stay in one all their life. I know it sounds so daunting, right? But sometimes a shock or a life event, a failure, or even a breakthrough pushes someone into the next level unconsciously, where they have no choice but to outgrow the current value level they're at, right? Let me explain to you a bit of a brief about each level and how they function, okay? You can go and do a bit more research on that. The great book that I found was very helpful for me and I utilize a lot with my clients was Values by Adriana James. And I've just highlighted so many things, brilliant things. Mind you, it's an older book, but it speaks in the revelation of today and the millennium and the AI and everything that we're experiencing. So forget level one. I'm not going to discuss level one. If you want to know more about that, go and read the book. But level two, okay, that sits under security and belonging. Reliable, it's someone that's reliable, loyal, rule followers. They make great support staff, administration, or roles where consistency is very much key for them. They're not driven by chasing sales, but they keep our systems very steady for us. Then you have level three. I would call them the teenagers, but hey, we've all gone through that phase, right? The rebellious, or trying to get out of the clan and the values too. We're part of something stronger than ourselves, and if we leave it, we're disowned apparently. But anyway, level three, they're more achievement and winning, very orientated in that sort of sense. Competitive, they're driven by ego, status, and recognition. They want to win, right? They can do well in sales, real estate, and things like that because they love the thrill of beating a target, right? But sometimes they push so hard or focus more on themselves than the client in front of them. Then we have values, level four, system and order. And these people are more structured, very highly disciplined, extremely rule-driven as well. These people are amazing in compliance, operations, finance, anywhere that pretty much has structure and it matters there. They're not natural salespeople unless the sales process is highly systematic for them. Then you got five. These are the results and success-driven ones. Apologies, there's a plane crossing over. That was not supposed to happen now. Anyway, but five, results and success. This is your sales powerhouse. So they're motivated by pretty much results, driven to close deals, persuasive, entrepreneur style. They love numbers, goals, and seeing the win. Similar to Trump, sits in five, pretty much. Then you've got level six. They're the contribution and spirituality ones. I like those ones. And the reason why I say I like those ones because I dabbled in six for many years and then realized, I'm in six and that's why I'm not making any money, right? The people that are in sticks and really have that as a primary and there's no secondary bouncing off and on, and they're primarily just sitting in six, these people care very deeply about meaning, harmony, community. They're great coaches, mentors, counselors, or community builders, but in sales, they're usually too laid back or too focused on the relationships to push for a close. So let's say somebody as a coach sitting in value 6, they would get a sale, but they'll be too embarrassed to ask for the money. Does that make sense? Whereas 5, they'll ask for the money, and sometimes they could delve into 3, a bit more ego driven in that one. Depends where they're dabbling. So this is what I want you to remember. People often have a primary and a secondary value level. Some might dabble and sit in one for a long time. Someone might be mostly level 5, sales driven, but with some level 6 influence coming through that makes them also care about relationships and purpose. That blend can obviously make them very powerful, or it can hold them back if they don't align it properly, right? Just let that information land for a moment. The question is, now you're probably thinking, okay, Sarah, well, this information is quite interesting. How does that explain the format model, right? How do you use it? Step 1, test your employees. Use a Myers-Briggs assessment to map their type. Are they extroverted, quick deciding, or are they introverted and reflective? You want to know all this information, right? Step 2, identify their values. Ask, what's most important to you in work? And if they answer with security, stability, and belonging, level 2. If they say winning, success, recognition, level 3. Or 5, if they talk about purpose, harmony, meaning, obviously that's 6, as we just said. Then step 3, you want to cross map things. An extroverted level 5 is a sales machine. Naturally, a level 6 introvert will make a phenomenal mentor, but forcing them into sales will crush them. And level 4 thinker may not sell, but they'll keep your business compliant and very much structured. Step 4 in this, use the format system when placing or training them. So if you're ever holding any sort of training, whether it's NLP training or your own workshops, or you're an employee and you want to understand your employers, you're employer and you want to understand your employees in the business, well, having the Myers-Briggs and understanding of the values, when you get the answers, you'll know which position to put them. If they want to apply for another position, rerun the test because they could have outgrown another value, and then you can see where they're at, right? But then the format system, he will talk about the depth of NLP and how this functions really well. And you immediately apply this today. The format system, right? This ensures that when you explain a role or a product or a training for any type of person, or any person will understand it very well because it has a sequence. And like you would know in NLP is a form of modeling and understanding the sequence and how people do things and really honing into their steps, right? Well, the format model in NLP pretty much is an explanation of that. So you start with the why. You must give meaning and purpose to the listener. Then you move on to something called the what. Explain the facts and the structure. Then you move into the how. Show the steps through a demonstration. And then finally is the what if. Expand to the possibilities and future applications, right? So let me put it all into perspective for you. Imagine this. What if every salesperson you hired was wired for results and love chasing numbers? What if your trainers and mentors were motivated by contribution and meaning and love building people up? What if your support staff actually wanted to follow the rules and keep things consistent? That's what happens when you understand values and types, right? And when you communicate it in a way that hits every question through the format system, there is no more guessing, no more frustration. You put people in their lane, and guess what? They thrive. Here's how I want you to practice this. Grab a pen and paper. I wrote this just prior, okay? I want you to write on the top left-hand corner on your paper, why. Then on the top right corner, write what. Then the bottom left-hand corner, write how. And then the bottom right-hand corner of a paper, write what if. Okay. Now, pick a product or a service that you are selling already or that you're planning on selling. Even an idea you want to explain to someone or a video that you want to put up on YouTube, something that's informational and you really want to hit home and you want to get the whole audience, right? I want you to answer each quadrant in order. Why does this matter? What is it exactly? How do you do it or use it? What if you applied it fully? Then blend those 4 answers into one natural explanation. That's you then practicing the format system. And the more obviously you might know this, you practice, the more automatically it becomes programming to your unconscious mind. And until your unconscious mind runs it without even thinking about it consistently, right? So whether you're hiring, training, selling, remembering this, people don't all buy or learn the same way. Some want to know why it matters. Some want to know the facts. Some want the steps. And some want the possibilities, how they can use it, the what ifs in the future and how they can mold it based on their character. So when you speak to all 4 quadrants, you never lose the audience. That's what happens. And when you align the personality, the values, and the role, you don't just get more sales, but you get more energy, you get more alignment, you get more loyalty, and the whole company becomes a powerhouse pretty much. So the power of combining your Myers-Briggs assessments, values, and the format systems is a large integration of NLP. Consider it that way. Now, what I want you to do is go practice and practice again and again and again until your unconscious mind does it automatically, because that's when you lead with influence. And guess what? You will sell with impact. But when you do use the format with the values and the type and you're able to explain it much better, you influence people much better. So now, if you want more tools similar to what I've just done with you again about the NLP, from sales strategies, mindset shifts, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because every video that I share is actually designed to load a new reel. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I'm giving a direct suggestion to the brain, a new reel in your projector, which is inside your head. That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing this because I want you to be the best in your field. And even if you're not an NLP practitioner, you might be a psychologist, you might just be a salesperson, something in a job, but you want to integrate something more, or subscribe, because I'll be sharing a lot more of these sorts of tools and strategies that you can be using moving forward. And if you really want to go deeper than that, well, then my suggestion would be go find yourself a great school to learn some NLP and do the practitioner and master practitioner. And if you want to do trainer's training, just so you can integrate something deeper and you don't have to retrain it if you don't want, then do that. That's something I've done. I love it. I've run the workshops multiple times. I have chosen not to run them recently because I've been really busy with one-on-one clients and I enjoy that. But there's some really great schools out there and you will learn this and you can apply it. It's brilliant. NLP is brilliant. To me, I think NLP is the foundation of everything. A format system really helps integrate everything together into practice, and you can re-deliver that out into the open world. As always, from my heart to yours, I hope this has landed well and it's given you something that you can utilize and start right away. See you next time.